Hi, my name is Zelman Ainsworth. I'm here with Mr. Michael Schreiber, a good friend and a mentor of mine, I should add, and a very hot target tenant that I've been on to for many, many, many years. Michael owns the Fun Lab Group, which includes a lot of F&B and entertainment businesses like Holy Moly, Strike Bowling, Jukes, Be Lucky, Archie Brothers, which is my personal favorite. Michael is definitely ahead of the market when it comes to F&B and entertainment and bringing entertainment into bricks and mortar retail. It is really exciting to talk to you today about how the last couple of weeks looked for you in the COVID period and what you're doing with all your businesses moving forward here in Australia and overseas in what now has become the new normal.
I was personally extremely relieved when they announced the JobKeeper. That was, in line with Singapore, the UK, New Zealand. So, when they closed us down without that JobKeeper, I was highly disappointed. I'd been mandated out of business and all our people were just thrown to the wolves, effectively. Before the announcement of JobKeeper, I was, contemplating how I'm going to reopen in 3, 4, 5 months' time without any people. Go re-recruit, retrain. How many people would have gone on and found new jobs? The task would have been immeasurably more difficult. With the announcement of JobKeeper, it was like a new lease of life for us.
Michael, Fun Lab has 40 retail locations in Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore with a projected turnover of close to $120 million and 1,100 staff. How has the legislation around code of conduct between landlords and tenants worked for you here in Australia?
Australia, the code of conduct was prescribed and mandated for businesses up to $50 million of turnover, with a directive from the government that tenants and landlord should negotiate in good faith around the circumstances which were prescribed in that code of conduct. So without mandating the code of conduct, the expectation from government was that that code of conduct should be used as the framework for businesses above $50 million. Right now, what we see is, as soon as we go into negotiation, the fact that we were over $50 million business gets thrown in our face. We're a successful business with an annualized revenue of, or annual revenue projection of over $150 million, but we're a fast growth business. So all our profits and then some, i.e. bank debt, are being ploughed into growing. So we're not sitting on cash reserves. So when your revenue goes to zero, how do you then pay those rents? Going into this, we were in growth mode. We certainly have every intention to carry on growing. We see massive growth opportunity in front of us. It's just a question of when we hit that button. Oh, look, it's certainly been a roller coaster. The challenges of a leader shift a lot. You need to provide support, vision, confidence, and you have to dig very deep because it's difficult to demonstrate those qualities today because you sit there as a leader and equally battered and confused as the next person. The sky has not fallen on our heads. It's not the end of the world. It's a time of change. I'm hoping that around the world we can take something out of this change and make it positive. Micro perspective, I think there'll be better alignment. I'm hoping there's going to be better alignment between landlords and tenants. I think companies like CBRE can help herald that change and stress to both sides and become that kind of honest broker between the two sides to ensure that there is more alignment because it's what's required.
If you could give any advice to landlords, both private and institutional landlords, what would that be? And how to deal with their tenant?
Better the devil you know than the one you don't. So if you have a successful relationship with a retailer and you've got a long-standing relationship with a retailer, cherish that relationship because the grass is always greener on the other side because there's a lot more shit. In this environment, you're going to look at, it would be nice if we were getting rent, but you're getting into a relationship with an unknown party maybe an unproven party, where you're burning a relationship with a proven party that's done the right thing for a period of time. That could be anywhere from 12 months to 18 years, right? I've been, and 50 years for that matter. But FunLab is an 18-year-old business. We've got leases that are 18 years old, that we paid the rent for 18 years, and those rents have escalated. So what's the landlord hoping for? That there's going to be some other fairy that's going to shoot down from the heavens and come and pay full rent? Like, they're going to be exposed to the exact same operating environment as us, as experienced national and international operators. So I'd say cherish that relationship and look at it as a partnership. Be transparent. Don't play with a straight bat. Look at your tenants' financial capabilities and financial circumstances and accommodate them in balance with your own requirements, right? Don't expect a landlord to go bust to keep a tenant in business, because that's crazy. I don't expect a landlord to feast while the retailer famines either. So it really is, taking the words of the Prime Minister, it's a shared pain, right? And it's shared pain for the greater long-term good, because life goes on, we will get to a new normal, and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Over the last 18 years of FunLab, you've always been a trendsetter and always doing the things that people were talking about 6 months after you started already doing it. In your own opinion, what does the future of F&B and entertainment retail look like? And what does high street and shopping centers look like as well?
There'll be different phases through a recovery. I think coming out of COVID and for a undefined period of time, pool retailers are going to be a lot more successful than push. And that means the retailers that were surviving on people just going out and deciding, we're going to just go get a bowl of pasta, are going to find it a lot more difficult than a pool retailer that has the best bowl of pasta in town, right? High quality environment, service, an experience, good quality product, and is a destination. If you listed the place you'd go to, those places are going to have a much better time than the ones that just relied on footfall. So it's going to be a much more discerning consumer. They're going to want value and an experience. So I think those three things, you're going to have to really pull the consumer to you versus just rely on footfall. And I think that'll last for a phase. Eventually, when people go back to normal and everything goes back to normal, that will rise. All ships will rise, but that tide will rise all ships. But in the interim, you better be at the top of your game coming out of this.
Will it go back to the way it was?
I think it's hard to see it going back to the way it was, because there's been an acceleration of change. So I think it'll be different, but I think it'll be healthier and more sustainable. And that sustainability will also bring some equality. That's my parting message of hope.